And we're back after our break, and we are commemorating and memorializing and remembering such a tremendous leader, and that is Senator Ted Kennedy. As many of you know, we are going to be showing an interview, some segments of one that I had the honor of conducting with Senator Kennedy. You've also heard from Solomon Ortiz, our U.S. Congressman, and we've talked about the Kennedy legacy that he leaves, and also the leadership that is to come, and also the ultimate sacrifices that Robert F. Kennedy or Bobby Kennedy and JFK or John F. Kennedy gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives for service. With me today, I have the pleasure of once again bringing on Juan Reyna, our political analyst. Welcome, Juan.
Joe, always a pleasure.
I know what an admirer you are of the Kennedys and some of the programs and initiatives that they made, but not only that, but about the historical landmark they leave and the legacy that they leave through the last brother passing on. But there is a lot of there's a bright future also. The Kennedy legacy has had a lot of tragedy in it, but yet a lot of hope and a lot of building of bridges between the haves and the have-nots, the poor, the indigent, and providing education, health care, providing our veterans with health care, and not only that, but with benefits and things that they need. And I think that he saw that was the most important or the right thing to do, even when, as the congressman said in his interview, why are you helping Mexican Americans, Senator Kennedy, when they don't even come out and vote, is what many of the people around the nation would do. And you're from Massachusetts. Why are you helping these people? And he said it's part of the civil rights movement. It's the right thing to do. And I think that echoes a lot about what kind of man he was.
Well, and I think so. And I think when you look at that historic march and the historic stand that his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, who was at the time in the United States Senate, took with breaking bread and walking tall with Cesar Chavez, and the imageries that invokes, and the legacy that has. That there is this natural affinity that I think many Hispanics and many people here in South Texas have in terms of that history and that legacy, and I think it's an important one. I think it's one that I think that Senator Kennedy, Edward Kennedy, was able to embrace and carry on during his tenure in the United States Senate.
Well, and he continued his work tirelessly for that and equal opportunity at the workplace, and so that women would not be discriminated against in the workplace, or minorities, and be given at least a chance, an equal footing, a chance to be at the table of the great American dream. And he provided that, and I think that when the ultra-conservative movement came to come in the 2000s, he stood fast in his beliefs, but he also was a realist and said, they are in control of the Senate, and we do have to also reach out. And he stood steadfast for his constituents and for the poor and for everyone here in the United States, and he was very impassioned about it.
Well, I think he was a pragmatist. I think he supported President Bush where he could, where he thought he was right, or where there was a level of compromise to be given. And I think he opposed him where he thought he was wrong on the issues or on the direction that we were moving. And in the end, I think that's what politics is you stick your ground, you do have your core beliefs, but you do have to compromise in order to get things done. And the imageries of this past Saturday, and when you saw all of the events, and you couldn't help but be impressed with all of not just Democrats going and paying their respects and paying homage, but also Republicans. Seated right next to former President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton was George and Barbara Bush. And I think that's a testament then to everyone's thoughts on this person. Not perfect by any means. Did he make mistakes? Of course he did. But when you look at his life in its entirety, given the historical tragedies that he had to overcome and deal with respect to his brothers, and not just two of his brothers, but actually his oldest brother, Joe, who died serving his country in World War II, to lose all three brothers in the duty of serving their country. It would have been easy to just lose yourself in that misery, yet he took that adversity, took that cross, he bore it, and was able to accomplish a tremendous amount with his life and in many respects for the country. And I think for that he probably deserves all our debt of gratitude.
That's right. And we're going to watch a little bit of video now. And what I want to let you all know, just to sort of backdrop to this, is that we interviewed him in the spring of 2008, shortly before his diagnosis with a brain tumor. And obviously, we were very honored to have him on the KTMV network. And he was extremely busy at the time, but we did get him on as someone we could interview, that not only about Barack Obama at the time and our president now, but also about social issues and he talks about how he feels about Latinos in general and the Mexican American experience down here, and he shares with us humor and insight, and the importance that he says in this in this interview is to say, get out and vote. And fight for what you believe in, and don't forget about those precious rights that you have. So let's go to that video, and what you're seeing is the interview that was conducted in the spring of 2008.